Hey, it's Jenika with Jenika's Journals, and I'm back with more new Tomoe River drama, Tomoe River paper drama. It's just an extension of the previous drama from the other video. Someone had mentioned maybe I could show my A5 sterling ink that I was in this in 2024 and maybe compare it to the new A5 Slim that I got and this B6 Slim that I also have, as well as my common planner, because this is the order in which I purchased these. This A5 first, this B6 Slim I think was next. Is that true? No, these two, I think these two were together. And then this one is my last purchase, my latest purchase. It won't be my last, my latest. Okay. So this A5, I almost feel like, would it be wrong to contact Sterling Ink and ask them if they have any of their older notebooks left? Probably that would be wrong. This is a dated one. Not a dated, sorry. Numbered one, page numbered. I love page numbers. So this commenter had asked, could I find some paper in here and then use these same troubled inks and pens that I were having in the other one and kind of compare the two, which is a great idea. But I don't really want to write on any of these pages, and I don't have any blank ones. So I was going to open up, I saw a page in here. Okay, here's an example. This is a Sailor 21K zoom nib and super juicy, and it did not. There is not even any ghosting. This is Birmingham Ink Co. I'm pretty sure, or this might be Pilot Ink. And it doesn't, there is nothing, not ghosting, not, definitely not bleed through. Here is some more. So really bright, this is Yomogi ink in that Sailor Pro Gear 21K zoom nib, and nothing. So anyway, when people talk about the thinner Tomoe River paper and how, you know, maybe, I don't know, that it's thinner, so, you know, it's going to ghost and it's going to bleed. That's not true, actually, about Tomoe River paper. The old Tomoe River paper doesn't do it. That's why we love it. We love that we can write with a Sharpie on it, and it's not going to bleed through. And when we invest in a notebook and then we see this, then we get upset. So there's that. You know, what worked before doesn't work now. So I am going to pull out my common planner, because whenever this change happened, I know there's other videos about this, so I probably don't need to be going over this, but when the change happened, I'm not sure when that was, so let me see if I can feel a difference. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna go down here. And I'm just going to write Pilot, capless. Can't remember which ink I used. And then I'm going to say Pilot Custom, because these two gave me trouble. So a good test would be to use that Sailor Zoom that I had, that I showed you just a second ago, but it is with Gina Salerno, hoping to get it ground to a journaler, which is what this is. This is a journaler nib by Gina Salerno. Started off as a music nib, I believe, I think a music or a zoom, and it was ground to a custom ground called the journaler. So we're gonna say Sailor. Isn't that nice? Oh, I love this pen. Oh, lovely. I think that's a ink from Birmingham Pen Co. called Blue Heron or something. And before I do the reveal, I'm kind of wanting this to dry a little bit. And then I had that trouble with this Sailor brush pen, so I'm going to put some marks in there. And then I'm just going to use this gel pen. my Pilot G2. And this one is 0.5, nope, 0.5 black. Okay, so let's see what happens here. Well, there's ghosting, but this just reminds me of normal Tomoe River paper, like this stuff. So yeah, there's no problem with this. This does not look like this. There is just no comparison to these two. Okay. Here's ghosting here. This is something that people who use Tomoe River paper actually, they don't mind at all. Okay, maybe there's a little more ghosting than there is here. Actually, that's true. There's quite a bit more ghosting, but I don't mind as long as there's not bleed through. I personally don't mind. So then I'm gonna get out this B6 Slim. Now I don't wanna use very much of this because sterling ink. I don't want to use much of this because I will use this notebook, especially if it proves to be the old paper, or not the old paper, but the good paper, whatever that is. I'll want to use this. So I'm going to just kind of start a currently inked, I guess, in the front of this book and do this exact same thing. Pilot, capless, and I really hope that I have a good result with this. Pilot Custom 92. I don't know if I wrote that on the other one. And then, oh yes, this journaler. Sailor. Journaler. Should have probably wrote the nib sizes on those other two. And then let's just give this, for consistency's sake, I'll put down some marker, and then I'll just scribble in here real quick with my Pilot G2. Whoop, G2, 0.5 black. Okay. The grand reveal. I really, really hope this is good. I would say that it is the same as this, the Common Planner. So, you know, I had talked about this. That's a good thing. That's a very good thing. And honestly, I don't know, because I've heard people say how some pages in one notebook are good and others aren't. So I can't say whether or not this whole notebook is great, and I really can't say that either about this Common Planner, but I have a really good feel for this Common Planner. I just feel like it's, well, I have it for both of them, so I can't really say that either. But you know, I talked about feeling like this is a bunch of wasted paper, but I bought, to be completely fair, I bought this Common Planner for myself at the end of 2024, thinking I was going to be in this thing the whole year, and I didn't make it, but January, February, and into March. So I didn't even make it. I made it 2 months. Well, I used it in December, I guess. I made it 2-3 months. And here I have what seems to be really pretty decent Tomoe River paper, and I'm not using it. So that's bad on me. I guess when it comes down to a producer, consumer, or manufacturer or consumer position, since I'm the one who spent my money on it, it's more of my decision, I guess, to not use the paper. Like, I'm empowered to not use this paper, and that wasting of the paper is on me. Whereas this not meeting its expectations, or meeting my expectations, that it's not on me, it's on the manufacturer, but really the exact same thing. if I don't use either one of these notebooks, it's in the same category, I guess, of waste. I don't know. Food for thought. That's all I'm going to say about it. I'm done talking about it on these videos anyway. I'm not done talking about it in general, I guess. I'm not sure what I'm going to do moving forward. I loved reading your comments. It's funny how polarized people are. Some feel, I don't know, they feel sorry for the consumer. Some people feel sorry for the middleman, like Sterling Ink, these small companies, Hobonichi, Wonderland, you know, a whole bunch of other companies that use Tomoe River paper. They feel sorry for those people because, like, for reasons we talked about in the last video. And then other people are just like, no, you know, this isn't right. And we shouldn't have to pay so much for a notebook and then end up with a notebook that we don't feel like we can use. Others are like, well, you know, it's just a notebook. Find another notebook or just use it and get over it. Use another pen. Where then others are, well, anyway, it's all over the map. So I guess that's the way it is with the human experience. We can be all over the map, which makes us interesting, right? Anyway, I hope that you have figured out your Tomoe River paper problem and you've solved it to make yourself happy. And I guess I don't really know moving forward what I'm going to do. Part of me wants to just give up entirely on the Tomoe River paper idea, but then I will pick up this notebook. And this notebook that I filled August 2024 through November 2024. And it literally, I picked this notebook up to do a YouTube video about journaling. And it made me, this notebook is what made me want to use this notebook. So that's the thing. So I'm going to try and forget about Tomoe River paper. And then I'm going to pick this journal up and have such pleasant memories of the writing experience that I had in it. That's what's frustrating. Well, one of the many things is frustrating about the whole ordeal. Anyway, I hope you all have a blessed day. Thanks for watching.